Now to an update to a story Local 4 has been following for the past 24 hours. Mayor Mike Duggan addresses a report that accuses his chief of staff of ordering the deletion of emails related to an investigation into the city's support of nonprofit organization Make Your Date. Local 4's Rod Maloney live with what the mayor just had to say. Rod.
Mayor is essentially saying there's no there, that for all of the effort that went into this report, the Inspector General's report, that had some interesting findings, like his chief of staff abused her authority by ordering the staff to delete emails related to this program, that the chief development officer also did the same, and that the deputy chief development officer also, in ordering to have these emails deleted, that they abused their power. They said that the mayor did not abuse his power, but the mayor is saying essentially that he put them in a bad spot, excuse me, because of the situation with Robert Carmack. Now, he was a local business person who, in fact, about 6 or 8 months ago, right about where I'm standing, was playing a billboard, a video that they had shown of a private investigator following the mayor around town, and in particular going to the house of Dr. Sonia Hassan out in Oakland County. And that is where all of this sort of leads. And the mayor even admitted that he put his staff in a bad spot. He says that his chief of staff, in ordering these emails to be deleted, was to protect his own staff. So here's what he said today about what he's doing to his staffers who were involved in this email deletion situation.
And I have directed that Ms. Wiley, Mr. Friedrichs, and Ms. Abu Shakra undergo training that Mr. Garcia will be running relative to document management, FOIA law, document retention law, to make sure that they are fully versed in these programs. They made a mistake in judgment. There's no question about that in what they did. I believe this is the appropriate action to be taken.
Now, what the mayor also said was that in these emails, there was nothing really there, that he and his staff tried to put the emails out in advance of the OIG's report, but the OIG asked them not to do that. He said that when you look in the emails, there's nothing in them. And in fact, the staffers didn't delete anything in their own emails. And so what he's saying is that it was a bad judgment call, but it looked worse than it actually was. Of course, the other issue becomes what's the state going to say about this, because the Attorney General's office is looking into this whole situation. OIG doesn't necessarily go after illegalities, just the issues of power and the abuse or use of power. And so now we have to wait and see if the Attorney General's office believes that there is any there in this situation. But we'll have more coming up on Local 4 News at 5. So for now, reporting live from downtown, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
Rod, I do have a question. The mayor stated that his staff clearly didn't know the laws in terms of how to deal with emails and whether or not they had the right to delete them. Does that mean that perhaps they have deleted other emails in other situations in the past? Are they going to dig into that?
Well, the Inspector General didn't. Whether the Attorney General's office does, that's the question that's at hand now. And now we'll just have to wait and see what the AG's office says as they dig through the same situation.
All right, troubling situation on that front. All right, thank you, Rod.